It's great to be here. It's great to be back in Limerick. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about my life in dance from the very early years, before I knew I would have a life in dance. You might recognize some people in this story. My first ever performance as an Irish dancer on stage was with Mick Maloney and Donnie Golden, my dancing teacher. It was in Elkins, West Virginia. It was a hot, steamy summer night. The closing night concert, the end of the opening set. Donnie and I stood in the wings. We flew across the stage, our feet barely touching the ground, lifted by the music of Mick Maloney and the Green Fields of America, and so many amazing musicians, some of whom we've lost, like Mick Maloney, like Frank Hart, like Eugene O'Donnell. But that night, I felt something I never felt before in my life. That night, collectively, we were electric. But it's really hard to remember a time when Irish dance wasn't just for Irish dancers. But there was a time, and it was a big part of my time. I remember another concert in the International House in Philadelphia. Mick had assembled the most extraordinary group of performers, and amongst them was the creme de la creme of American tap and old-style hoofing. Jimmy Slide was there. Sandman was there. I didn't know who Jimmy Slide was. I didn't know who Sandman was. I was 16. But I knew that Donnie and I, we were dancing with tap royalty. You see, back then, dancers, we got to experiment. We threw out the rule book. Donnie Golden, myself, Eileen Golden, Liam Harney, Deirdre Goulding, Regan Wick, Lynn Wick, John Jennings, Rita Gray, and Colin Dunn. We realized that what we did had a value outside of Irish dancing, outside of Irish circles. People liked this dance that we did. Who knew? And I was hooked. You couldn't get me off the floor. A bit like now, big stages, small stages, tiny stages. The stage in my parents' basement. From the Hardcourt Hotel in Dublin, to Brixton Academy in London, to the Royal Albert Hall, to Carnegie Hall, to Lincoln Center, to the Point Depot, to the Project Arts Center, to the Irish Arts Center, to the Abbey Theatre, to Radio City Music Hall, to Matt Malloy's pub. But if you really want to know the start of this story, we have to go back to a small farm in Ballyhonus in County Mayo, where this young, tiny thing took her first steps, stumbling down her grandmother's path. My grandmother loved dance. She loved music. She loved the fact that her daughter took her daughters to be Irish dancers. So Grandma, this is for you, and this is for all the Irish dancers out there that have a story to tell. Thank you.